I did it! My research is finished at last. Tomorrow I'll submit it to the professor. It will be a big day. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Dad's disappearance, too. It's already been 10 years. Henry Morgan, the famous archaeologist, vanished under mysterious circumstances. This was the most recurring headline in the newspapers. I'm sorry, Dad. I tried really hard to understand where your final research took you. A hello to Mom, and then to sleep. Unfortunately, she can't be here tomorrow. Her latest expedition in the Amazon is taking longer than expected. Let's hope she receives my email. Good night, Mom. Coming! This postman believes that everything he delivers is urgent. One can never even get a few hours rest. It's only 2 p.m. The day has only just started. Let's see. Bills. A letter for me? Nobody writes to me, usually. It's dated July 25th, 2008. The same day my father disappeared. Dear Willy, it's Dad. If you received this letter, it means that my mission didn't go according to plan. I can't linger or I would put your mother and you in danger. You must go to the old inn in Bonetown as soon as possible. Room 09, but never trust anyone. Everything begins there in the warmth of a friendly place. Love, Dad. It certainly isn't a prank. The style and handwriting are my father's. I've looked for clues to his disappearance for 10 years. And I even got a letter from him. I must leave for Bonetown immediately. I'll have to manage somehow, because Mom is still traveling. But Bonetown isn't far. With a little money and a bike, I can get there in a few hours. I saw the bike around the house. There's even some money around here somewhere. Off we go! Perfect, I already found the bike. Or rather, what's left of it. To leave, I'll need all the other parts too. Hi, I'm Willy. Would you like to take a short tutorial to learn how to handle things in my world? Good, let's do a quick overview of how to play. Let's start with the basics. By holding down the spacebar or clicking on the icon at the top left, you can highlight the objects with which you can interact. Try to see what happens. Great! As you can see, the hotspots are marked with an icon like this one. If you want to pick up an item, use it, talk to someone, or speed up the dialogue, you can do so by pressing the left mouse button. Now try to pick up the object you spotted a few moments ago. Good. Now let's focus on the inventory. You can open and close it by using the mouse wheel or pressing the I key. Give it a try. Very good. You can examine an item both in the inventory and in your surroundings by pressing the right mouse button. Reopen the inventory and examine the item you just collected. Perfect. We have completed the tutorial. Here's a last bit of useful information. You can open the pause menu by pressing escape or by clicking on the menu icon at the top right. Finally, by double-clicking with the mouse on the directional arrows, you can immediately move from one place to another. If you are uncertain of what to do, you can access the help section included in the pause menu. Let's start. No way! If we start by taking a key at the beginning of the adventure, what will happen next? The painting is really beautiful, but so is its setting. It's essential to remember the title and the author's name. Admire my physical prowess. It's not about bragging to friends. It's the symbol of my family, and I'm proud of it. I better not turn it off. Mom must have had her reasons for leaving it like this. At least I think so. My mother took almost everything with her for this journey. I don't need a map to get to Bonetown. I already know where it is. Moreover, this isn't a map of our state. It could contain something important that would be of use to me. It could contain something important that would be of use to me. Strange object. Let's see what happens when I pull one of the branches. I thought so. Ingenious! Typical of my mother. I bet she designed it. Look at the nice ring inside it. It looks ancient, and there's also an engraving inside. Difficult to make out. SC Arvis Mag A. I think I know what it is. I'll put it in the bag. It might come in handy. It's an antique ring. The engraving, SC Arvis Mag A. I've already read them all. If somebody threw something in there, it means it wasn't meant to come out again. I ran out of it this morning. I meant to go shopping, but my plans fell through. I prefer to leave it here. Otherwise, I won't be able to monitor the phases of my puberty. There's a lot of stuff in here, but it's no use to me. Let's take it. One never knows what might come next. I need something to get the plug out. I don't want to get wet. There isn't a drop left. I used it all for the bath I was planning to take. I will leave it here as a warning to future generations. I don't think it would be useful to me. If only there was a rubber chicken, but these could come in handy too. It's always good to have one for a pleasant bike ride. I feel more at ease taking it with me. I'd better take only what is strictly necessary. Too many things. I couldn't take them all with me. I see no alternative. Now you'll discover the huge power of a plunger. Nice work. Now I can safely leave home. Well, look what was hiding in the bathtub. It's certainly a part of the bicycle. I'm amazed by the extremely intelligent use I made of it. It works perfectly. I would only run the risk of damaging it. There's information that could be useful. Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Fix Mom's alarm clock. And there's more. Best not to add to the problems this object already has. Let's see what's wrong with it. Look what was inside it. Maybe that's why it wasn't working. Replacing the internal alarm with the bicycle bell might not have been a brilliant idea. I don't need a broken alarm clock for my trip. I think I'll need it shortly. Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Buy new sun lotion, and there's more. Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Save money, and there's more. Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Return books to the library, and there's more. How can I possibly use it? Maybe this is the best place for it. I've already read them all. There's still something missing. I can't take it. It serves an important function in this fridge. I used it temporarily to reinforce one of the shelves. If I pull it out, everything will fall down. I first need to fix the shelf. I already had breakfast. No thanks. I never eat between meals. There are several ways to use it. That is certainly not one I had in mind. Better not take a hammer to everything. Just what I needed. I couldn't go anywhere without it. It doesn't look like it, but there's a logical order. If I start moving everything, the whole day will be affected by it. I could do with something to cook. Others use it to cook sweet little furry animals. I prefer heating up something already cooked. In this, my mother used to hide little surprises for me. Let's see if I'm still lucky. Would you look at this? It looks like there's a little emergency money in the bottom of the tins. There's no greater emergency than this. It's quite a bit of money. Once the piggy bank is opened, I could have a small fortune. I can't. When Mom leaves for a trip, she always turns off the gas to avoid any unpleasant surprises. She always says that for a kid my age, the microwave is more than enough. I don't think the incident last year helped. Let's just say that calling the fire department about a burned pan can't exactly be considered my finest moment. I'd really love to try it. I think there's still something missing. Very good! There's still something missing. How professional. Nearly there. All I need now is ready-to-go transportation. All I need now is ready-to-go transportation. I've already read them all. It works perfectly. I would only run the risk of damaging it. I like where it is. I don't need a painting to remind me of my grandfather. Let's see if this rubber hammer might come in handy. Let's not do that anymore. It's a present from my mother, and I could ruin it. I want to open it with the least possible damage. It's a present from my mother. I already have quite a bit of money, but it's always better to have more. You never know what expenses I'm going to have. It won't come off. It looks like it's bolted on. The screws don't turn. They got rusty with time. It has to be liquid in order to use it. It won't come out of the bottle otherwise. I need a ladder to get to it. Collecting everything found lying about is a real fixation. Essential for traveling. Empty. I could fill it up with the stuff inside the boxes around the corner in the corridor. Too many drawers. They will come in handy. I'll take them with me. Here they are. Giotto always had one too, or so they say. Wow! Now in your inventory you have items that you can combine. Doing so is very simple. Open the inventory, select an item with the left mouse button, then select a second item. If successful, wait a few moments and you'll see these items combine and a brand new one will appear. This will certainly be very useful. Try to combine the item you just found with another item you already have in your inventory. The lead is missing. 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 And it came to pass that my criminal career began. I promise when I get back, I'll sort everything in alphabetical or chronological order, just as I've been doing for the last year. I'd better take only what is strictly necessary. I've already read them all. I've already read them all. It's not time yet. Too risky. There's a risk that the container may explode or melt. I'll need a less powerful heat source. Not now. I have more important things to do. Pepperoni and pineapple pizza is my favorite. Maybe I might eat a slice later for a snack. I already had breakfast. I've already taken what I need. I can't. When Mom leaves for a trip, she always says that for a kid I don't think the incident I would like to return it among the boxes stacked in the closet, but I'd better leave it here. It doesn't look like it, but there's a logical order. If I start moving, the whole day will be... empty. I could fill it up with the stuff inside the boxes around the corner in the corridor. Too many drawers. I don't have enough clothes to fill them all. Better shut the closet door so I can get a better grip. It won't be an ISO 9000 certified ladder, but it will do. Got you, Wheel. Et voila! Excellent! The heat from the lamp is melting the oil. It's ready to use now. The rusty screws are loosening up. I also finished the suntan oil. I better leave the empty bottle here. Now it works. Excellent idea. That way I can open it without causing irreparable damage. I wonder how much I've managed to save in the last few months. I expected more. All that noise and all I got is this lot of gears? I don't even know how they ended up in here. It's a memento. Best leave it here. No way. If we start by... Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Read instructions to assemble bicycle. And there's more. Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Never leave bath full of water before going out. And there's more. Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Water doesn't work metal loose. It makes it rust. And there's more. Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Important bracket maintenance. Keep nice and smooth. And there's more. Here are a few notes I've written down lately. Tidy boxes and closet. Another part. Almost ready. Making progress. I can glimpse its shape. I don't know how to connect it. Nearly there. Not long to go. Perfect. A few more parts. Not long to go. Nearly there. They connect perfectly. The bike is ready. I just have to take it, and that's it. Bonetown, here I come. Let's go. It felt like something from my bike was missing. I forgot to mount the brakes in my hurry to leave. Fortunately, I escaped without any major damage. Better take what's left. I'm especially sad about the bike. I was very fond of it. I could pick all the weeds and try to fix it, but I'm not here for that reason. Better leave it here to remind all Bonetown tourists of the beauty of Lafitte Park. I have no idea how to use a quill. I can hardly write even with a normal ballpoint pen. Take it and deprive the next tourist of those delights? That sounds crazy to me.
You don't look like you're from around here, is that right? I don't know how it works where you're from. But in my inn, it's a good rule to ask before taking something.
I'm sorry, you're perfectly right. May I take the key to room 09?
Absolutely not.
But you just told me that if I asked, you would give it to me.
I just said it's a good rule to ask before taking something. But you absolutely can't take that key because of the second rule of the house. Whatever decision I make is law. That means you can't take the key so long as I'm here at the inn. And I've been here for 30 years. Every given day. Every single hour.
Didn't you even get a day off? Now I can understand your good mood.
What did you say?
Only that I respect your rules and I admire you for your commitment and courtesy. A Fabergé egg at the Dead Man Inn? Good evening, my good man.
Good evening, boy. How can I help you?
I need a place where I can stay tonight.
It's your lucky day, boy. The Dead Man Inn is the best in the business.
Very good. I almost feel at home. Are there any rooms available?
I'm happy to check, but I have to warn you, we are in peak season. In this one, we still have to clean up bloodstains. Room 08 is already occupied. By me. I just have number 09 and 10 left.
Then 09 would be perfect. That is also my lucky number.
In that case, I can't do anything other than give you room 10.
But I just told you I'd like to have 09.
Everybody likes number 9. If I gave you that room, the next customer could only take number 10, which nobody likes. So they would leave.
I could leave too, since I'm not pleased with that.
Of course. Indeed, you have the look of someone who can go and choose another inn. For your information, Dead Man Inn is the most comfortable, as well as the only inn in a 40-kilometer area. You can also go find yourself another inn and come back tomorrow morning. I'm always here. So, room 09 or 10?
Room 10 is okay.
Do you have money for the accommodation?
Yes, I think I can pay for one night in this amazing resort.
I don't know what a resort is, but it is sufficient that you have the money to pay.
Here's the money.
Kid, this isn't much. It will only be good enough for one night.
I think that's enough.
Good. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Morgan. Willy Morgan.
Morgan. That name sounds familiar to me. Have you already been in our lovely little town?
Many years ago, but I was very young. Maybe you remember my dad, Henry Morgan.
Henry Morgan, you said? Something springs to mind, but I think a long time must have passed.
Yes, a long time. I'd say 10 years since he disappeared.
And why do we have the pleasure of seeing you again in Bonetown?
For the anniversary of my father's disappearance. Today it's 10 years exactly.
There's always a good reason to stay at the Dead Man Inn of Bone Town.
I have no doubt about it.
Now I have to get back to my job. Help yourself to the key to room number 10.
Thank you.
Once you are settled in your room, you'll find a pre-printed form. I need to complete the check-in. Bring it back as soon as you have filled it out.
All right, thank you. Thanks, and goodbye.
Hello, boss. It's me. You won't believe this. Henry Morgan's son just showed up here.
Henry's son? Why did he come here?
He hasn't said too much about the reason for his visit. What do you want me to do? Do I warn Bob?
Yes, standard procedure.
Okay. As soon as the kid comes back here, Bob will take a good look at the belongings of the young Morgan. Sure, boss. I'll keep you posted. See you later.
If I take it down, the innkeeper would surely notice. Those eyes make me feel quite uncomfortable. I'd rather not touch that substance. I don't need it. I'd rather admire it on this wall. There's no need to take it with me. I want the other guests to enjoy these works as well. I'd rather leave it where it is. It really belongs here. I wouldn't want to upset the symmetry of this place. I'd rather not touch that substance. It's locked. I can't open it. It's locked. I don't think I should touch anything. That yellow tape does not bode well. There are certain places that can scare you with a floor like this. A peculiar scent. I wouldn't say it's good, but at least it adds a different touch to the place. It looks like a communication system. Better complete the check-in. I wouldn't want the innkeeper to accuse me of using a service that still doesn't belong to me. First, I have to fill in this form, and then I can use the services of the room. I haven't got a pen with me and can't see one around. Better go back to the innkeeper and ask for more info. It's summer. It doesn't make any sense to heat up an already warm room. I'm back with the form you talked about, but I haven't got a pen with me and I still have to fill it out.
Doesn't matter. Give it to me so I can write the essential data down.
Thank you.
Name and surname.
Your memory is a bit spotty. I'm Willy Morgan.
Sorry, kid. You know how it is. Age plays shameful tricks.
You seem like a different person now. Kinder and more friendly.
Maybe I left you with a bad impression before. I'd like to make things right now.
Did you hear that too?
Hear what? There are a lot of noises in this inn.
Did you hear it now?
It's probably some little animal.
The one who made that sound must be a big one. And how? What now? Did you hear that noise again?
Yes, but I don't think you should be worried. It's normal. In fact, I think it's finished now.
How can you be so sure?
It happens all the time. As soon as you open a door, drafts let the wind through and it does funny things.
Okay, what else do you need?
I'd say I'm okay with this. I have everything I need.
Only name and surname?
Here in Bone Town, we need very little information. The rest will fall right into place.
Okay, now I must get back to work.
Me too. I'm very busy.
With what? Okay, thank you. Oh my god! And to think that, according to the innkeeper, it was just a little animal. Luckily, I always keep the important things with me. Never trust anyone. Dad was right. I better warn the innkeeper.
What the hell happened here?
I guess a robber came in and trashed the whole room.
I cannot be 100% sure, but all clues lead to that. Have they taken anything valuable from you?
I have all my valuable things on me.
Better this way. The Dead Man Inn is the most comfortable in the area, but it doesn't have any insurance in the event of theft, disappearance, or death.
I was lucky it was just a theft.
Unfortunately, there have been many such cases in Bone Town lately.
Seeing the current condition of this room, can I have room 09 now?
I already explained that I can't. I'm awaiting a huge influx of tourists in the next few days, and I need that room. If you could wait just a few minutes, I will clean everything up like it was before. Then, as compensation, I won't make you pay from tomorrow night on.
Your kindness astounds me. Seems I can't do anything other than accept it.
Wise choice. Now, if you can clear out, I have to clean up the room. If you give me the key back, I'll clean up everything and give it back to you at the entrance. I'll take a moment. Using the back door, I'll be at the entrance before you arrive.
Thanks, my good man. I guess it leads outside, but right now I have other priorities. Have you already cleaned up the room?
Yes, everything's in order again. Here's the key.
Okay, thanks.
And you have all the services of the Dead Man Inn at your disposal.
Like what, for example?
The most important one is room service. And following that, the Do Not Disturb.
How does the room service work?
When the customers call, it is the duty of every good innkeeper to answer. I try to be as fast as possible so as to not leave my position untended. If you don't see me at the counter, it's because some impediment forced me to use the back door. There are a lot of steps to get there. Going down is not a problem and speeds up my movement, but climbing really slows me down.
Thanks, that seems clear to me. What's the Do Not Disturb?
It's this amazing object. Only paper of the highest quality for our customers. With the writing, Do Not Disturb, in giant letters. You just have to hang this on the door. And I'll know you don't want to be disturbed. Here, take it.
Thanks, very useful. Thanks, and goodbye. Let's see if I can. Done. This sign is useless now. I'd rather not take it with me. The things I have to do. Let's just hope it doesn't spill. I wouldn't really know what to use to get rid of this stink. That might be a good idea, but not without knowing the contents of both. I'd rather not try experiments like that in my bag. What if there is a reaction of some sort? I don't want to ruin it. The stink from this bucket is already bad enough. Just how I pictured it. Better not waste it. And now something classy. The contents haven't changed, but now there's a fresh musk ox scent. After all the work I did to give it a decent fragrance? No way. I'd rather not touch that substance.
What now? Oh, that must be the new guest. I saw straight away that he was a troublemaker. Better go check. I wonder when the cleaning lady is going to fix this disaster. Actually, I wonder when I last saw the cleaning lady. I don't think I've seen her at work since our discussion about the hourly rate. I'm sure she'll come back. Nobody can refuse $1 per hour. Better check what's happening. Number 10. Can I help you?
I'm testing the room service. Excellent service.
Also the price. Maybe I forgot to tell you that after a certain number of calls, an extra fee is triggered.
Cordial as usual.
If there's nothing else, I'll get back to my business.
Everything's okay, thanks. Can you repeat how the room service works?
When the customers call, it is the duty of every good innkeeper to answer. I try to be as fast as possible so as to not leave my position untended. If you don't see me at the counter, it's because some impediment forced me to use the back door. There are a lot of steps to get there. Going down is not a problem and speeds up my movement, but climbing really slows me down.
Thanks, that seems clear to me. Thanks, and goodbye. Very good. It looks like the cleaning has finally started.
Agile and silent like a ninja. I didn't even realize the cleaning lady finally got to work. Better not walk across it. I'd risk ruining this beautiful work. Oh, she also added the essence of muskox. My favorite. I'll go around the back. That guy's gonna have to wait for a second.
Nobody's coming. Better go check the entrance. Better not go inside. If the innkeeper This is my chance. Let's hope there won't be any other obstacles. At last! I don't trust taking them. There's the chance they could have been eaten by mice, the owner of the place, or the cleaning lady. In any of the 3 cases, I don't want to take them with me. Look what's inside. Somebody forgot a nail file. Better take it. It could come in handy. Tough luck. Fate really doesn't want me to take a shower or a bath. I don't need it right now. Everything starts there, in the warmth of a friendly place. I think my father meant warmth in a literal sense. Perhaps he hid something in the fireplace. Let's try searching there. What is this? This brick doesn't seem to be bonded to the fireplace like all the others, but I can't rip it out. It seems after all these years it is partially calcified back into the fireplace. I need something to grab hold of the cracks. It seems to be working. I can take out the mortar holding the brick. Clever, a niche. Let's see what's inside. It looks like an old library card. It belonged to my father, Henry Morgan. Last read book, Properties of Concrete. What did my father want to tell me? It's a card for the Bonetown Library. The card belongs to Henry Morgan, my father. Let's see the last read book, Properties of Concrete. What was he working on in his final research? Better go to the library to make some inquiries. That doesn't seem like a good idea. If the owner finds out I entered room 09, I don't think he'll be happy. If anything happens to me, the Dead Man Inn has no insurance to cover the damages. After this amazing night, it'd be better to go back to my room and rest. First, I'd rather take the key to room 09 back to reception. I'd prefer to avoid having problems with the innkeeper. I have a really big day ahead of me tomorrow. I think the time has come to find out what Dad was working on. I better check the library card again. I'm sure Dad left me some other clue. It's a card for the Bonetown Library. The card belongs to... Let's see the last read book. Properties... What was he working on? And better go to the library to make some... Is the public library still there?
Sure, boy. It's one of the crown jewels of Bonetown. At least it is according to what Margaret, our librarian, tells us. I'm simply reporting what's said because I personally never go to such places.
Strange. I would have bet the opposite. Could you tell me where it is?
Turn left at the main square, just outside the door. Boy, if you don't want to get lost, use this. It's an old Bonetown postcard, but it was used as a tourist map during the golden years. It could be of use to orient yourself and move around Bonetown.
Thank you.
Are you interested in something in particular?
Just to reminisce a little bit. My father used to take me there all the time. Thanks, and goodbye. Better leave the key here. I don't know if I'll want to avail myself of this service again tonight. There you go. Now I can leave. I don't need them. I don't think I need this kind of souvenir. I don't need it. Whoever could have hidden it here? I don't know how, but I hope it might come in handy. I don't need them. It's one of those old message boards on which they hung the wanted posters. Here in Bonetown, time seems to have stopped. There are still posters of the gang that was raging here decades ago. The members have become famous. I recognize the posters of Rufy, Nami, and Zoro. The others are faded from exposure to bad weather. There's also a little footnote. Posters offered by the Lafitte Amusement Park. Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
I need to consult one of your tomes.
It's always a pleasure when someone wants to benefit from the services offered by our library. What are you looking for?
Properties of concrete.
Oh, what a surprise! It's not among the more popular in Bonetown. I guess this is the second consultation in more than 10 years.
Doesn't it get the attention it deserves?
Here in Bonetown, people don't read a lot, especially a book like that. I could never have managed to face it either.
Where can I find it?
I guess it's somewhere on the upper floor. You should recognize it easily.
Thank you. Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. It's stuck under the huge number of books on the desk. I must find a way to free it. I don't think I should use it on the book. Let's try. It worked! Check out what we have here. Let's see what it is. It's another letter from my father. It's dated July 22nd, 2008, earlier than the other one. There's also a piece of paper that seems more ancient, but I can't figure out what it is. Better take a look right now. If Dad did all this so that I'd find it, there must be something important. Now I understand what the piece of paper was that I found with the letter. Dad always performed great feats, but I never imagined he was looking for kids' treasure. It has always been said that it was basically a legend. I don't remember the complete story exactly, but maybe the librarian can help me. And I have a list of names. Better start asking information of the townsfolk, without attracting too much attention. I don't need my father's old library card anymore. Even if someone found it, it would be useless. I have the letter and the piece of map belonging to my dad. This lock is peculiar, to say the least. I'm pretty sure that I'd need a special key if I wanted to open it. What happened to Bonetown in the last few years?
The city has always held more allure, at the expense of the small villages, and Bonetown is no exception. All the young people left when they had the chance, leaving the town in its current sorry state. It seems you know our town well, although you're so young. Can I ask your name?
Of course. I'm Willy Morgan.
I'm Margaret Teach. But for those who attend the library, I'm just Margaret. Once there was a Morgan here in Bonetown too. Then he left, seeking fortune, and he became famous. But he never stopped coming back to visit Bonetown. I don't think you know him.
You mean Henry Morgan by any chance?
You surprise me, and that doesn't happen often.
The point is, I know him very well. Henry was my father.
I'm sorry, kid, I didn't know.
Don't worry, it's been a while.
10 years ago, right?
How do you know that?
Kid, I'm the librarian. I basically remember everything that is put on paper, and Henry used to come to our library a lot.
Do you know anything about his disappearance?
Unfortunately, only what I've read about. One night he was here in Bonetown. The morning after, it's like he vanished into thin air. Not a clue, not a trace. No letters or anything that could have guided the search parties to a solution.
Do you know what he was working on in his final research?
I don't know. He always read a lot, basically all the tomes you can find in here, and sometimes at his request I had to order books from other cities as well.
Do you know if he had enemies, maybe?
Henry? Let's be serious. I think there were very few men as affable as him.
Thanks for the information.
Don't mention it. If I can be of any more help, just ask.
Do you by any chance know the story of Captain William Kidd?
Sure, it is mostly a legend. In the golden era of piracy, Kidd stood out for his endeavors, if you could call them that.
The endeavors of a pirate aren't exactly heroic most of the time.
Anyway, his ship, the Adventure Galley, was supposedly filled with treasures when it suddenly disappeared. A few years later, in 1701, Kidd was captured and executed, but his ship and the crew were never found.
What do you think happened?
What always happened at that time? Kidd and his crew squandered all the loot, and to cover their tracks, they sold or even burned the ship. After this story, Kidd became legendary.
Thank you. Am I wrong, or did you tell me your name is Margaret Teach?
That's correct.
Do you know a man named Charles Teach?
Your question surprises me. How do you know my great-great-grandfather?
I'm doing some research on the genealogy of Bonetown, and I stumbled upon the Teach family.
Yes, it's been several generations now since the Teaches settled in Bonetown.
What can you tell me about Charles Teach in particular?
He was the one who brought the name Teach here to Bonetown, but of his past, little is known. My great-grandma told me that he was a former fisherman with a knack for books. This library is a donation he made to the city of Bonetown just before he died. After he arrived here in Bonetown, he devoted himself exclusively to reading, and many of these books were bought directly by him. He had so many of them that he basically founded the town library, which then became the family business for the following generations too.
And he didn't leave anything else apart from the books?
All he left is stored on the upper floor, but it's mostly junk. The real treasure was his books. There's also an old crate without a key, but it looks empty.
Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Very strange. I have the feeling I'm being watched. Better be careful. You never know what can happen in Bonetown. Better ask for permission. I'd risk looking like a thief. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I'm sorry, do we know each other?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Uncle Steve?
Uncle Steve? There was only one child that called me that. It can't be. Willy. Is that really you?
Yes, Steve, it's really me, Willy Morgan.
Son, how are you? Sorry if I don't get up, but my back is killing me. Sitting here all day is bad for my health.
All good, Steve. Thank you.
Tell me, what brought you back to Bonetown? It's been years since the last time I saw you.
For the anniversary of my dad's disappearance. It's been 10 years. I was thinking of swinging by the cemetery.
Already 10 years? Time seems to have stopped in Bonetown since then. I sought refuge in my job to forget. I must see your mother. Does she know you're here?
I told her I was leaving. She's away on a business trip.
How is she? I tried many times to contact you in recent years, but she never answered.
It was very tough for her, too. She preferred to make a clean break from the past, concentrating on me and her job. Bonetown is a memory that still hurts a lot.
I understand.
Can I borrow a stamp?
Of course, as long as you use it responsibly. Even if they're dated back, they're the official stamps of Bonetown.
Thanks. I'll use them well.
Actually, when you're finished with your stuff, you can help me out with that stamp. I have a lot of paperwork to authenticate.
Gladly. Do you remember what happened to my father?
It's always painful for me to talk about Henry. We grew up almost like brothers, before he decided to leave and become one of the most famous archaeologists in the world. Despite his work, he always found the time to come back here to the family, and to meet his old friends. Unfortunately, his disappearance is still shrouded in mystery. The night before that fateful day, we went out together. We said goodbye in front of the old inn, where he was staying. The next morning, I stopped by to say hello, but there was no trace of him. His room was intact. The innkeeper said he didn't see him going out. That's all I know. Since then, I've been racking my brain to understand what happened, but Henry seems to have vanished into thin air.
Just like Mom always tells me. Do you, by any chance, know what Dad was working on?
I wouldn't know. Whenever he'd come to Bonetown, he told us fantastic stories of the places he explored. We felt like we were there with him.
Dad was always an exceptional narrator. When he told me a story before bed, I couldn't sleep right away, but instead spent a good part of the night fantasizing.
He used to do the same thing with us here in Bonetown. Everyone was enthralled by him.
See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, I'd prefer you not touch it. There's some important notes and I don't want to lose them.
Sure. I might need one. I'll take the more worn one. I don't think that ransacking this paperwork will help me in any way.